hair is doing.
We might have to introduce ourselves again.
Sure. I love talking about myself. No.
I need to make sure I don't like accidentally kick you out like that one day. That was horrible. Yeah. Remember, and you couldn't get back. I blocked you or something. Okay, are you a host now? Okay. So since we're recording now, hi, really quick. My name is Jenny. You can find me at jennyahanson.com. Also all over online at Jenny A. Hanson. I have been in the beauty industry for 12 years and also have my own product-based company, as well as this show that AnDrea and I host together. And I teach over on my blog, on my website, jennyahanson.com, the creative, modern, and millennial or millennial at heart entrepreneur, how to run and start a business, take it from idea to conception, get that first sale, and so on. Teaching business skills as well as spiritual savvy, guided meditations, and internal work as well.
Awesome. Love it. And my name is AnDrea Pettingill. I go by Drea everywhere, but we're good. So you can find me at shinewithdrea, DREA.com. And I am a nail artist and a mentor. I love helping others with their creative businesses and helping others to find their own self-confidence, to be their true self and shine, and helping the creative entrepreneur to put themselves out there and to create success that they want. So wonderful.
Yes. I love it so much. I am wondering, Drea, let's see, today we're actually focusing a little bit more on the, for our title is what we wish we would have known right out of beauty school. But I think that this applies to other people as well, not just within beauty school, but it can be with, even though that's where our focus is going to be today, I feel like that anyone watching this on the replay can really gather some information, because a lot of the same things I think apply if you have any type of service-based, if you're in any service-based industry. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I think
it's the creative part of it, like as nail artists, we're creative, or we're really attached to our work, and we put that out there so vulnerably, for others to see. That can be reflected in, photographers, even bloggers, or, all sorts of creative industries. And there's so many things of what you even wish you would have known when you first started your business, that relates to the things that we're going to talk about today, because that's essentially what it is. Coming out of beauty school, you are now a business person with this foundation for success. And what are you going to do now? What is your next step? And it's scary to jump into what's next for you. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And because I don't know what your schooling was like, but I know that when I went to school as a nail technician, my grandma actually had a nail school. And so she really talked me into going, kind of made me go, right?
Really?
And yes, did I ever tell you that?
No, I don't think so.
It's kind of a funny story, but yeah, she actually got me started with doing nails, and I used to say, "Oh, Grandma, that would be fun. That would be interesting to do." But I really have no interest. I don't think that would be great. Even though I watched my aunt do nails and raise her kids on her own, 3 kids all on her own doing nails, and my grandma did nails, and it was always something that was very just creative and fun, but I never really thought of it too much as a career until I was reconnected with my friend, who's now my husband. And that's when things shifted, and I realized I could have a lot of freedom in having my own business, doing nails, working from home, or working, setting my own hours, or working from salons, whatever that looked like. There was a lot of freedom in that. And so I was lucky in the sense that she would not take part-time. She would not do full-time classes. She would only have part-time classes, and she would only teach so many days a week. And it took us 9 months to get through the nail technician class, which in other places, especially where we are in Utah, there's some nail schools that will push a nail tech through in like 3 months and just teaching them enough to pass what they need to pass on their state boards and then wish them luck in the world. And it
seems like in 3 months, you're just really getting your feet wet in what the industry is all about. And all of a sudden you're expected to like do your own thing. Like that's pretty jarring. That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's like, it's scary. And you're like, okay, I know everything intellectually, but you don't have a ton of experience or time to put it to use.
For me, I went through the entire cosmetology program. So a little bit about my story is I went through kind of almost similar, because my sister and I were in the high school, and she looked at the, counselor center and was like, we're going to go sign you up for beauty school. And I was like, okay, that sounds fun. So she just kind of encouraged me, and I was like, I don't know what this is going to turn into, but let's do it. And I ended up, really diving into it, really loving the nail art part of it, really finding out that I had a lot of strengths in cosmetology in general. So I was there longer, because cosmetology, when I went, you needed 2,000 hours. So the schooling was longer than what you would take nowadays just for nail tech. But I can't imagine just going 3 months into learning and being thrown out there, because nowadays it is very much what's happening. Yeah. And you talk to people who, in my state, it's, and we're in the same state in Utah, but
different area, but
it's legal to do apprenticeships. And so that is a little bit different, because what you're doing is you're actually getting a lot more hands-on experience, like working with someone actually who's in a salon, but you're not, you get to focus on your own bookwork, like that kind of thing is like a very different balance. Where in beauty school, you got all the technical stuff, figured out, you pass the test and that, but you don't have the experience side. So it's a trade-off, when you're, you're in charge of your own bookwork stuff with apprenticeship.
Right. Oh,
so
interesting. So it is a little more.
It is still required, the bookwork part of it in apprenticeship, but it's a little more, if you want to pass the test, you're going to study harder. It's more like, okay, sit down with me and I'm going to teach you how to do nails. And it's more experiential than as much as the bookwork is.
Right. So you have somebody right there to really assist and guide you, because I have actually thought about this with doing things in regards to, like, when you do first come out of like a trade school or a beauty school or anything like that. One of my big tips and advice is that to get your first job with a salon or a hotel or somewhere where you're working with other people, and to really latch on to the strongest technician or employee there and just shadow them. And even, and just, shadow, learn, grow, and work right side by side by them. And when I was training technicians, I used to do this too in my training.
Because you don't know what you don't know, right? And so you can go out there and be so confident and like kind of like overly, arrogant about it. But if you like sit yourself in that kind of situation and just kind of like humbly, shadow someone, you'll be able to find out, oh, like this is so much, like even in the first couple months of doing that, you'll be like, this is way different than I thought, and then you can kind of reformulate how you want to, approach your career with that different perspective.
100%. And I also felt that it helped me with time as well. It really helped me in my time management, because I was able to, literally do a service next to someone who'd been doing it for a while. And so just getting the rhythm of what they were doing and kind of when they would shift from, just, okay, now this is the prep work, now we're shifting into this work and shifting into the massage, like getting that rhythm of the timing was really good. So that was really helpful. So I definitely advise that for something I wish I would have known right out of business or right out of beauty school. And I think too, like with beauty school, we have a lot of people who, as you're first getting started, for us, it is so important that you're constantly continuing your education and growing and developing, whether it's beauty school or any kind of trade school or college or anything, or the school of YouTube and Google. It's like you have got to find the classes in your area that are specific to what you're doing and continue your education. You know, if you're a photographer, find a photography class. If you're an artist, if you're a painter, find a painting class. If you're a nail technician, look and go to your local beauty supply store and say, hey, you know, what classes are coming up? There's always classes.
Yes.
And it gives you credibility.
That's a huge point that I wanted to make today too, is because when I was first in my first couple years out of beauty school, I thought I kind of was really hard on myself to like, oh, I have to go and perform this way, and I should know everything. I should know, like, that limiting belief in your head is like, I should know everything because I have this paper, this license that says, you know. And so then when you come up in the salon and you're like, but I don't know how to do that design, and I'm not that good or that fast at applying acrylics, you know, you start like having negative self-talk, you know, really beat you down. And you are not supposed to have it all figured out and know everything when you're out of beauty school. Like, I'm sorry, but that is so not true. And when you realize that you're not supposed to have it all figured out, what you are supposed to know is how to take care of the public. You know, what you are supposed to know is safety, sanitation, and the basics of creating your work, your art, and your nails. And that's very important. But as far as the things that come, what do you think are the different things that come with experience? Like, so we've got, you know, getting your time down. We've got perfecting your, perfecting like technique and structures.
Because that is kind of different for everyone. I think that what I love about it is it's a lot of problem solving, and every set of nails is not the same. Just like every head of hair is not the same. Just like every client is not the same.
And it's just like, it's an art. Like, I keep going back to, it's an art, and you are the artist. You create what you want to create for this person, you know, in collaboration with them, as far as like, oh, they want this color, and oh, you think that color would go good with this design or whatever. But it is a collaboration, and it is an art. And art is, you know, art is open to interpretation. Yeah, it's so like, you know, so as far as that goes, you can like create it to be whatever you want it to be. And the gift is realizing that you don't have to know it all when you get that piece of paper, and open your mind to finding that higher level education, because it's out there. And that was what I was going to say, was there, when I first got out of school, I thought I had to know, I should know everything by now. And I didn't even consider that there were classes, you know, when nails wasn't as big of a deal back then though. So I didn't consider, and maybe it's different for newer nail techs now, because there's so much on YouTube. There's so much, you know, social media access to know what's going on in your area. But I didn't even consider, and I had to drive an hour and a half to find the resources, to find the class that I ended up going to once a month, so that I could create that technique and perfect my skills. So just changing that belief to, I'm supposed to know it all, oh crap, you know, and flip it around to, what else do I get to learn? Like, what else is possible in, you know, just like creating more success and perfecting my skill, and what classes are out there to help me do that.
Right. And I think that a lot of beauty industry professionals will get comfortable when they have like this part where they're like, okay, I get it enough. I have some clients coming in, I'm making some money, and they just stay there for years and years and years, sometimes their entire career. And it's great and it works for them. Okay, that's fine, I guess. But I mean, I don't personally like agree with that or support that. I think that you should be continuously growing. And another thing that's really good about getting that advanced education right out of the gate is that you're with your tribe of people who are all in the same place. And then you get even more credentials and certification, which just builds your cred. It just builds your street cred in the area. And then you get more clients. People ask all the time, how do I get more clients? How do I get more clients? Make yourself an authority in the area. Make yourself known. Get that advanced education so that you can brag about it and say, hey, because I do that all the time. I'm like, anywhere online, if when I was building my clientele, that was a big piece that I would use in that, you know. I also have my advanced education in shellac, gel, acrylic, painting, like everything, so that people knew. And I remember it was cool because at the time there was only like 2 like C&D grandmasters in all of Utah. And so I got to say I'm one of 2 in the whole state, you know. Now there's more, which is fantastic. And I love seeing it, but there's still not enough, you know. There still could be more of that. And the more education you have, what's really neat is the companies that are educating you will, when you're certified through their education programs, they will put you on their list on their website. And so people who are trying to find someone, you know, specific that actually knows what they're doing, they go to the company's website or the brand's website, I should say. And they're like, okay, who uses this product? Who uses this brand? And guess what? There you are. There's your name. There's your phone number. There's your website. And it's all easy to put that there. And you can get clients that way too.
You just came up with like 100 different topics, I swear. I'm like,
I know. We could do shows on this a whole bunch. And actually, should we give them a little teaser for the education show that's coming up that we are going to be attempt to do, which will be fantastic. I know.
We don't know a lot of the details of that yet, but we hope to do some really cool stuff coming up.
Yes, because AnDrea here is an educator for a nail company, and so one of her is it a trade show?
It's a local they call it just like a road show, So we're going to try to live broadcast from the show. It'll be so fun, and just kind of take you around this like show and show you a little bit around there. That's trade shows. They have education and classes there, and they're not that expensive, and you can play with new things. But what's something else you wish you really would have known coming out of beauty school? Something I really wish I would have known is that I am embarking in owning my own business. And though that sounds scary and overwhelming, it's very doable.
That's big.
I had to, So this is a big thing for me that I teach is like, okay, the average nail tech is maybe going through high school and getting their certification, going through school, and then graduating. And so their background and what they know about the world or work in general, unless they come from an entrepreneurial family, which is totally different. And I'm speaking to the nail tech who aspires to be a booth renter, an independent contractor. It's different if you're, in my state, there's a lot of more booth renting, we can make a higher income, we can be more in charge of our schedule, etc. So that's what I'm speaking to because that's what I know. Yeah. I have been a commission stylist before. I have done hourly before as well when I very first started. And that's important because sometimes you need that. You need that to get, like, you're like worried, like, what do I do?
Yeah, if you're building a clientele, an hourly is good to start out. Because unless your day's full, then commission's not going to do you any good. But if you're
and we can totally talk about that because that's a big topic in and of itself. Yeah. But like what I was saying is like the thing that I really wish I would have known is that I am like, what is my big picture? My big picture is to be a booth renter, independent. That means entrepreneur. Like that's a big word and that is so different. But coming out of school, you get like a job. I had a job at a clothing shop, so all I knew was working for someone else. All I knew was, I put in this many hours, I get this much money out. You don't think about all of the disciplines that it takes to have your own business and to regulate your schedule and to manage your taxes and your bookkeeping.
So true.
So many things that they don't teach you, and they're getting better at teaching now.
Yeah.
But if that's the goal, if your end goal is that type of a booth rent, independent entrepreneur type of a business, you got to know what that entails and take ownership of that. So my story is I first got into doing, I was cosmetology licensed all the way through. So I got into a hair, hourly hair franchise, where I didn't even do nails. So that's a whole different subject, is recognizing your niche.
Yeah. We talked about that a little bit in a past episode.
Because for me, I was like, oh, you don't make money doing nails. You make money doing hair. So
right.
I have to do.
Which is
limiting
so
that I had.
funny, because you can make a lot of great money doing nails.
Yeah.
It's a secret.
And now it's more common. Yeah. Don't tell anybody, but nail techs make a lot of money. And so that was like, I did that for like 2 years before I had someone hold my hand, show me how to run my own bookkeeping, how to run my own schedule and business, and that is getting a mentor. That is what was the key to break me free of my hours and my time and my effort giving money to someone else, which was like, I didn't even realize how much money my commissions were like funding someone else, but it really was a huge deal. Sorry, my computer's doing something funny. And so to recognize that I could be making a lot more money for all of my efforts if I take ownership that I am a businesswoman and that I am an entrepreneur and I can do this. So
100%. Yeah. I agree entirely. And I feel like that definitely segues perfectly into that same kind of feeling that I was having too, is that when you're working and this is funny because when I was a little kid, I saw how hard my parents worked. And I talk about this a little bit in my free audio training on my JennyAHansen.com website. And I kind of tell my story, and it was about how my parents would work so hard nonstop for other people. And even in my child mind, it didn't make sense to me. I thought, why wouldn't you do this, doing something for yourself? But you do have to have a lot of discipline, and you do have to have some a drive and a passion, but it also comes along in the journey as well. I think when you're working with clients, then they're relying on you, and that accountability really kicks in, because I used to be terrified of responsibility, and which is so funny because I've been very responsible and independent, I would say, like my entire life, Yeah. But something about that thought process of, oh, can I have all these people relying on me, really freaked me out. But then it got to a point where it's really just kind of like one really good client, and then two, and then three.
Built upon itself.
It built upon itself. And so it's not like you're going to come right out of the gate with this huge list of clients that are just like wanting you to handle and juggle everything. And this has become part of my daily routine. When I get up in the morning, I do my morning rituals, and where I'm doing my meditation and my prayers and my reading and my writing. I check my books. I see what my clients are for the day or the next day. I send them out reminders. I look into that. And so this just applies to so many different areas. It's not, just coming out of school and working with people in general.
Yeah.
Which is something I wanted to talk about too, which I wish I would have known, is the professionalism of that. And I learned a lot about this when I worked, the fancy, with like celebrities and the fancy in the 5-star resort for a while. I got to learn a lot about hospitality and service and customer service, and the difference between the two and how important those two are. And you can have great customer service, but you also have to have great hospitality as well. And what the difference of that looks like is that hospitality kind of goes a little bit above and beyond the overall experience in serving your clients, serving your guests. Customer service is just being available, making sure that, you know, transactions are great, that problems are taken care of.
A little more like robotic, we could say, like just
yeah,
have to happen.
Yeah, that, you know, putting out fires, whereas hospitality is where you really get to just serve. And so I do this in my business. I take notes, and I learned this from the big shots, where you really just take notes on each of your clients and remember their stories, remember what you talked about, remember what you what maybe they told you or how they're doing, remember what they love, what they don't like, things like that. And so when they come back to you, always addressing them by name is huge. Like, that's something that a lot of people will sometimes get busy and don't do.
I think if you recognize, like, when someone says your name, like Jenny, you know, that feeling it gives you, like oh. And especially for me, when they pronounce my name correctly, AnDrea, instead of AnDrea or AnDrea. Right. So like, it just lights me up. It's like, oh, wow, they're talking to me and they're really concerned about me. And not like in an overusing their name kind of a way of like, I'm trying.
Yeah, not like manipulative at all. They're just being considerate. Yeah.
So that's a really good one. I was gonna say, with the hospitality thing, would you say that just out of beauty school, though, that's kind of hard to concentrate on because you're so focused on doing the nails properly? And it kind of it's kind of like when you're learning to drive. It's kind of like you got to really focus on driving, and then you can have a conversation with the person in the passenger seat when you get better at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Because it takes like now I'm in the zone. I got my systems and my routines, and now I can like better pay attention to like what my conversation is.
Right.
You know, I mean, we're really good at multitasking though.
Yes, I think so. As creatives, we are. I think that for me, a great place to start was just having those friends and family as your first clients, which we all have our friends and family.
Yeah, we can pick from a group of people and come and get your nails done.
Yes, but then some people are kind of afraid to do that too, because sometimes your friends and family don't know the business Jenny or the business Drea, or, you know, they don't understand that you've got that hustle, you've got that work ethic, that you've been working really hard at something, that you're actually really understanding what you're doing in your field. And so, like, my mom's hilarious. Like, every time she comes to get her nails done, and I make her pay full price. The only person I discount is my like 88-year-old grandma, and I give her $10 off. That's because she has the money. But it's just like, because I had to learn that lesson the hard way too, which is something we should talk about. But she's so funny because she'll sit there and she'll try to tell me like what to do. Like, she's like, did that cure long enough? That wasn't fast enough. Maybe you should. And I'm like, Mom, I got it. I know I got it. But those are your greatest teachers in that sense too, because they will say things that your regular clients or clientele or customers will not say out loud.
And you don't realize that these things that need to be addressed because they normally say it out loud.
Yeah. And so,
they're right.
And so it would teach me to say that, and actually, I like to know what people are doing to me if it has to do with anything. I want to know the process. I want to know the plan. I want to know what the outcome is. Like, I am very what's going on? If I go in for a massage, it's like, I want to know what they're like, they're using coconut oil, what's going on in my body. So just naturally, I will kind of explain. And as everyone in the industry does things a little bit, their own technique a little different. If you get a new client or customer, they're comparing you. They are, especially if someone moves to your area and they're like trying you out. They're comparing you. So I like to just explain, I'm very textbook in the way I do things in the beauty world. I suppose I'm about 50% textbook in business and 50% innovative in business. but even like that piece of, okay, yeah, this is what we're doing, or I explain this is just acetone, we're removing the product. This is Scrub Fresh to dehydrate the nail plate. This is, and I let them know what we're doing and why we're doing it. And I'm like, and if you don't want to hear this, let me know. I just personally like to know what's going on, so I'm going to let you know. And it helps them feel more comfortable, and then they're not just watching every little thing that you do, because it builds this trust that you're going to explain it to them. And also asking questions that are open-ended are very nice. If you need someone that you're just want them to talk so you can focus on what you're doing, a really good open-ended question is a way to go. Like having conversation around, hi Johnny, having a conversation around all of this is just like, that could be a whole BLAB.
Yeah.
But don't you think like what's a good example of an open-ended question you would ask your clients? I'll try to think of one.
Do you mean like, tell me about your weekend, or
like something that's not like yes or no?
Yeah, just basically like, so the difference would be like, tell me about your weekend, or did you do anything fun this weekend? They could say no.
Yeah, they could be like no.
And so when you open it up, tell me about is a really good sentence starter, because that implies that I want you to tell me a story that has like a lot, like a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? Yeah. And so their brain goes story mode, and so they get to take over the dialogue, and you get to listen
and like get your job done.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what else do you wish you would have known before? Or getting out of beauty school that they don't teach you, or something that's been really helpful? You did mention taxes and the money and the financial. And don't you, I love this about you, is you have an advisor, you are an accountant.
So if I were to go to that and kind of phrase it in so many words, I would say, I wish I would have known it's easy to find help, and there are people out there to help you, like to have an advisor or something like that, because I have an accountant, and it really is worth it to work with them, and to, when you have this limited mindset of, oh, it'll be expensive to work with someone, they won't take my business seriously, I think came up for me a lot, that like, they won't even give me the time of day because like, I'm just this small business person or whatever. That's a limiting belief, and that will limit you and keep you stuck. But if you open your thoughts to, they're there to help me, this is why they do what they do. And so for me, when I started working with someone, first of all, my first mentor helped me to create, spreadsheet on Excel, take care of all my books.
Wow.
So much help, because it just helped me to see, how it all laid out.
I've never had a hired mentor. I don't know if that's horrible or not, but I have a lot of mentors in my life. For free.
Like they were just helping me because they were the salon owner.
Yeah, and they want to help give back.
Those associations, people that are just, they've done it before. They're able to, give you some of their free time.
Pay it forward. As a business, I have people who will email me, and they'll reach out to me, and they'll say, like an example, I had an email the other day, or no, someone put a post up on like a Facebook group saying, I really do not know how to set up a Shopify website. I'm in e-commerce. I really need help. And no one answered this poor woman. And I reached out and I sent her a message and I said, let's get on a Zoom. We'll screen share and I will show you how to set up your Shopify. And she's like, well, how much? And I'm like, for free.
Yeah, when you pay it forward.
Pay it forward, because I have people do that with me. Yeah.
People helped me. I want to help other people. Like I get so excited about, when I work with people one-on-one in my salon, or just like someone picks my brain, like I'm all there for helping others. Yeah. Because there's people that were that kind to me, that like went above and beyond. Like even if I hired a mentor, and like, or worked with someone for one-on-one, you know, and
Yeah,
they gave
because
me
you've
like
done both. Yeah, you've had both.
I've done both.
You've done it all.
You know, I've hired people, you know, and so there's all kinds out there. And there's some people that are just like, oh, I just want to help you, like no big deal. And there's some people that, you know, their time is valuable, so they just need an exchange for their time.
Totally get
You
it.
know?
Yeah.
So I've done that. I've paid, you know, $50 an hour just to take, you know, 3 hours and sit down with someone.
Oh yeah.
Because that helped me.
Oh, I guess I have done that. I have paid for a strategy session before with Danielle Ford who we interviewed last week. I did a strategy session with her, and it was like $250, which was kind of like, is this going to be worth my time? It was worth 10 times more.
But that's the thing. It's worth way more. And you show up and you do the things that they tell you to do because you put that much investment into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, I'm going to do it because I invested in this advice. I invested in this time for myself. I'm going to show up to the appointment.
Right.
Like, you think of it like if I like told someone, oh, I'll do your nails for free, you know, come at this time, and they get busy or overwhelmed with the kids, they might not show up. Like if you have someone pre-book a $20 deposit for that nail appointment, they're going to show up.
They're going to show up.
Like when you're working with a mentor that charges, so don't automatically shut down someone who's charging, because there's a value exchange that happens either way. There's a value exchange that happens if it's a mentor that doesn't necessarily ask for a money exchange. There's an exchange in energy. There's an exchange in, you know, helping them to get better at teaching, you know, which is like what I've experienced right now as I start to teach and start to get out there more with my educating. I learn from the people I teach every time.
Yeah.
So there's that value exchange. There is, you know, being able to clarify my thoughts and my message and deliver that. But then there's also, you can do trade work. You can do so many things to exchange value.
When you're starting, I think that that's so good because you are learning and growing. But there is this moment. I really feel like there's a moment. And I just put the link up for the replay that our Danielle Ford interview, because she gave so much good info. And it was like SEO, social media, YouTube, Facebook ads. So if you're into that, or you're watching this on the replay or on YouTube, right there, check it out. I even put it on my site as a blog post. I was like, this needs to be everywhere.
Yes. I love that you did that.
But she, what I was going to say, but there is this moment where I feel like you have to go, okay, I feel confident enough to where you can go into your confidence. Ooh, should we do a confidence meditation today?
You should. That would be amazing.
Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. But you go into your confidence and you feel that, and you're like, okay, you know what? Now I can go into, I know what I'm doing. I can offer some value, and you start to really go into that positive self-talk of that, you know?
Yes. And I talk, like, I have an audio confidence by design that I talk about some of these things. Like,
so good. Let me put your website up.
Thanks, Jenny.
I think people they're cruising. They're going to getting on your list and stuff, right? And getting that audio.
Yeah, because you when you go on there, you can click the link and it will give you the download to your email inbox to get my audio training. And it's Confidence by Design. It's my story of how I was able to, you know, use the tools that I've learned through different mentors and through different programs and through different education opportunities to build my self-confidence so that I can go out there and apply for this position that I got, educating for a nail product company and putting myself out there. And, you know, just the process of what comes up during that, and a lot of different tools that I use in my daily life to keep myself, you know, intentionally in the mindset that I want to be. Because, you know, it's like if we don't put it in, something else is going to fill that void. Yeah. And usually negativity, because we were trained, you know, in the world today. I even pick up on it. Like, we're trained to talk about our complaints. Like, I noticed it the other day because I'm a people observer, is like people come into the salon and they'll complain about their weekend, they'll complain about their dog. And I catch myself wanting to say one of my complaints. Do you do that?
Yes.
They complain about the weather and what happened. Like, we had a bad windstorm. And then I find myself automatically wanting to complain, oh yeah, like our garbage can went down the block.
Yeah.
And that's something we do in society. Like, we just like want to mimic and parrot back, like, or we want to be on that same misery loves company.
Right.
But
I do have someone in my life who that's well, I can't say every, but about 90% of interactions or conversations that she has had with me. I don't know about other people, but I know in my experience, but that very, very negative and complaining. And it's so like,
a lot of times we don't know that we're doing it.
You're doing it, but that's just what she knows.
Yeah.
But if I have a client or a customer that goes into that, again, it's that art form that comes in of that you have to just switch the dialogue and the conversation.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to hospitality with your client.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not, this is not normal day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm.
There's a person paying you to sit in front of you. Yeah. That doesn't mean you say whatever you want to say.
Right.
I'm sorry if this sounds really direct, but I've, experienced and witnessed and probably been a participant and been a part of, dumping my stuff on my clients. Mm-hmm. And that is not the time or space to do that. Mm-hmm. They're paying you so that they leave feeling better. And if they leave with your junk stuck on them, mm-hmm. They're going to feel that. And whether they feel that negative energy and go and pick apart your nails because they just feel that something is off, it can totally create a spiral down to where they don't want to come back. They don't know why, but they decide, oh, it's because this nail's crooked. I'm not going back to her. But in reality, it's because of the vibe you gave them and and that they took with them when they left. So when you give them the space to lift up that day, to empower themselves, they leave like not knowing, like they got so much more value than what they receive. Like right now in my salon as a life coach as well, I mentor my clients and we go through belief breakthrough processes, when they need it.
Yeah.
And
while she's doing their nails. It's the coolest thing ever.
It's so amazing to see transformation happen in what they thought they were stuck in, in their life or just like a goal process that they're in. It's just like to watch the freedom that clicks for them when they have someone to just create dialogue. And anyways,
I bet you're getting better tips too.
Giving them, it's very true. They're like, wow, you always want your clients to leave feeling like they got a steal of a deal. Mm-hmm. And so when they leave feeling empowered, feeling like, oh, I'm ready to take on my life. I just feel so energized. Some techs are so naturally good at this. Just by their bubbly, fun vibe, like that is part of your service. Yeah. You're giving them that positive energy. It is like a huge part of your service, so don't undervalue that. Yes. So they leave and they're like, these are the best nails I've ever gotten. Yeah. And it might not technically be, but they're feeling it. They're feeling it because their energy is up.
And they love you.
And they love you.
And it's also so true. Oh, I'm getting feedback. Sorry, I think there are two things open. Okay, so I had an idea which might be kind of fun. We should have someone on Twitter like with a hashtag, like hashtagging out little golden nuggets of wisdom that we say on the show. Wouldn't that be fun?
Fun.
Anyway, so we'll we have every time this happens, but it's so true because, and you actually learn this in the hospitality world, which the training is insane, which it comes back to training, is that don't talk about yourself. Don't talk about your problems. Don't complain because like what AnDrea is saying, that's not the place. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go get away from my husband and my kids and go get my hair done and have a stylist that's just like unloading on me because I'm naturally a good listener, you know?
Yeah.
But if
you'll just automatically do it. And a lot of in my community, it's a lot of the busy moms, and they don't need that.
we
They
don't need
don't
it.
need
You want to take care of under promise, over deliver always. And what that means is that you have your basic services or what you're doing with your clients and your guests, and you have that basic thing written out that you're just going to do for everybody, but always add on in some kind of extra that's not advertised. Whether that's, and here, speaking of my children, they're trying to escape. Here, I'll mute myself while you.
I was actually going to ask you a question, but, I was going to ask you that because you brought it up, like the hospitality and the extras, and you're so good at this. And I've caught on a little bit of what you do in the salon, but I wanted to know, like, and for our viewers, like, what are some of those extras that you do offer for your clients? And like, what specifically do you like add or, throw in extra value for them?
Yes. Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so one thing I do is I, make sure that I always do this for nail clients specifically, and then I'll talk about my business clients, my customers, my product customers, just for anyone who's watching. So for one, with nail clients or beauty industry people, what I do is I always run a hand massage. With pedicures, I'll do a little extra foot massage. I also have warm neck wraps that I'll offer to every guest, which they love. I have a little bowl of Lindor chocolate set out with like some tissue in case things get emotional. I have my bottled water there. So just little things like that. So they are like, feel like they're coming into a very welcoming environment, like I'm hosting them in a way. So those are a few things I do. And then with some clients, if they're talking and they're venting, and maybe they do need to just express and get that out, not really so much complaining, but I'm also like to be a listening voice for my clients so that they can really have someone to talk to, because my community here is also very small. So there's some women who they can't talk to their friends or their family members or people in their church or anyone, because they have to keep this, up with the Joneses persona. And so sometimes I'm the person that they're like, okay, like it's like confession,
Party. Mm-hmm.
And so because I have this policy and I tell every single one of them, part of my integral work that I do is I do not repeat what is told to me in my salon. Mm-hmm. I don't do it. Unless it's like a client that maybe moved away and I haven't done their nails in like 7 years. I still even won't give names or a lot of detail, because that's just something I hold dear. It's that privacy. So with my, in my company, with my product-based company, which I don't advertise, is anytime anyone puts an order in, any kind of create order, which our next line I finally can announce is that we're going to be putting, we're going to have candles, t-shirts in the water. So I'm so excited because
that's cool. So
on their way. I can't wait. But that is something that I whenever people purchase from me, I take time in the packaging. I have these really cute notes. I write a handwritten thank you note. If it's for an event, I'm like, I hope this helps your event. It's, pleasure doing business. Thank you so much for your order. Love, Jenny. This is the owner of Create Beverages. I take the time to do that.
That is so. I've received those before from people, and it's just like
I put
they went
tissue. I'll do like cute tissue paper, make it like a gift. Yes, just to make you feel And then another thing is on my website is that I respond to every single email that comes to me, and I'm still small enough to where I can do that. But anything I post on social media, I am posting. Any comment, I am commenting. Any email. I'm responding, and that's something that it's important to me too, is because I make myself accessible and say, hey, maybe it might take me some time, but this is, email me, and I'm here, and I will answer you. It might be at 1:00 in the morning, or but I get to those emails, and so that's something that's huge too. because I think that's so important. But I don't necessarily put that out there a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So those are some examples.
I love it. I know we're almost out of time, and I really think it would provide lots of value to the meditation.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think about ending on that?
On that note, I love it. I did want to mention one thing too, is that if somebody is going into a new work environment and they're new and they're fresh out of school, they're, trade school, business school, whatever that is, beauty school, that it is really, truly important to be careful with what you tell other people in that community and environment, because it's kind of like a family, especially in the beauty world. Everybody knows everybody's business and there's no secrets. And so just to show up and be professional, and even if, have one client or 10, be in all black, show up professional, look good, be on time, all of these things, be prepared, have everything set up and clean and just look very organized and professional. That's a huge one. And then also to work hard, because it's not going to come easy.
Good one. That goes back to the whole mentality, is we're coming from working at a job to entrepreneur. We represent our work. Mm-hmm. And so even if you work for an hourly wage or commission, a lot of times it's someone is telling you what to do in a job, and now you're a nail tech. Now, you represent your work, and it's it takes hard work. You got self-discipline, because in your job, in your salon, someone can be do this manicure, stay here for this many hours, and you can check all those boxes, but not work hard. Mm-hmm. It's possible to do that. And it takes your commitment to excellence to go the extra level, right? Because your end goal is to,
own your own space,
job, then own a salon, be an independent contractor. So when you keep the end goal in mind, it can help fuel and motivate your extra effort and your hard work. That's a very important one, because you see that so much, that people are I'm going to go home early because I don't have anyone on the books, and they're not working hard. Mm-hmm. And then they complain. And if you remember this saying, we only complain about the things that we can do something about.
Oh, I've never heard that.
That's so true.
It's a good one.
Because if you're complaining that there are no appointments, there's no
appointments.
It's something that you can do something about, something that you're not doing that can be changed and different, something that you can put extra effort into implementing, or brainstorm new ideas, or everything that you've ever tried to do, someone else that out there has done.
Yeah.
You can go on the Google machine and find solutions to your problems. Yes. And one thing that is really huge for me, not a tangent, but when I started getting into more entrepreneurial, more blogging, more mentoring, and combining that and bringing that back into the nail world. And something that I noticed is a lot of the books out there, a lot of the blogs I read, a lot of the people I follow are not in the beauty industry at all.
Yeah.
But they have helped me so much. Have you noticed this, Jenny?
Yes.
So don't get stuck in your industry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Expand your mind to create creative solutions. And all you have to do is ask yourself, how does this relate to me in my industry? Mm-hmm. How does this relate? Don't just put up a wall and be I can't listen to them because they're not in my industry. But, pay attention to if it makes sense, if it's going to work, or if it's good advice. Always be a good judgment of that. But ask yourself, this person's successful. How can I take that and relate it to my industry and my business? Because there's certain keys. I've learned so much from a photographer about creativity and staying on top of styles and anyway, different things that I can relate from all sorts of different industries and relate them to what I do in my work in the salon.
Yeah.
So be creative. Really that.
That's such good advice. If you just take your top 3 favorite brands that you really love, and maybe you don't know why you love them, but you love them, and just start kind of studying them, because a friend of mine who actually got this from Tony Robbins, she's always saying success leaves clues, which it does. You know, if you're like, okay, maybe you love Apple because they put so much into their packaging. And if you're doing something, make sure that the way you package things up is really important, even if it's in a service. And also, whenever you do have your own salon, make sure that you are constantly keeping a pulse on what's happening in your business and training too. Because if you're training your employees about how to really take care of the customer, how to take care of the client, and that hospitality part, and you hold yourself in that example, then they will follow. Like, you know, if I had a day that I maybe didn't have someone on the books, or an hour I didn't have someone on the books, I was looking ahead days in advance when I was still like really doing nails, and I was calling people and I was like, hey, you know, it's been 2 weeks, or even someone who nails I did a week ago, just wanted to call and say, how do you like them? Any problems? How are things going? Oh, good. Yeah. That's so great. Okay. Oh, you need to book for next week? Okay, excellent. Let's get you in. That goes such a long way. Such a long way.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, this might be good to mention. And just as far as booking goes, we could do like 100 other shows on different topics. Right? But something that I do is I rebook everybody. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. I have probably 65 clients. I know because I gave them all Christmas presents. I've got 65, maybe a couple more that just drop in during the holidays. And I rebook everybody. Yep. So before they leave the salon, they have at least 2 other appointments on my schedule.
Yes. And this is what that looks like. Drea, oh my goodness, it was so nice having you in. Let's look in 2 weeks from now for your next appointment. That puts us on, you know,
exactly
3rd or whatever. I'm not even, this is a notebook.
This goes back to open-ended or yes or no.
I have a morning or an afternoon. What works better for you?
Oh, morning.
Morning. You love morning? Okay, I have a 10 a.m. My whole day's open. I pretend it's not. I have a 10 a.m. Is that good?
That's important.
Excellent. Yes. Let's put you in. I have you in. If anything comes up, call and let me know. But it's better to get you in because I fill up quickly.
Yes, say that.
So, you know, call me if there's any issues. We'll work around it. But at least you have your spot.
Yeah. I love that. I tweak it like for me a little bit. So as soon as I get done with the appointment, I say, okay, do we have your next one on the schedule? Should we look? You know, you don't leave it open-ended like, do you want to make another appointment?
Yeah.
Because they can say no, or they can say, no, what you do is go, okay, now let's look at the schedule and make sure we have something on there for you. You know, and for me, I always say, I book up really fast. Should we book another appointment?
Because I really do book really fast, and so do you.
Yeah, and actually, my calendar is within view. My clients can see it while they stare at it while they're getting their nails done. Sometimes I'm like, screensaver, but they can see how busy my calendar is, and sometimes it's other stuff.
Yeah, right.
Like, it is full of stuff. But sometimes it's not all nail appointments.
Right.
Because I intentionally put in my self-care. I put in my date nights with my husband. I put in, you know, appointments, my beauty service appointments I get done, my hair, my lashes, myself, you know, so there's other stuff on that calendar and they can see that my life is full. So it's like, yeah, they see that. But anyways,
so good.
Always invite them to book. I explain, I book 3 weeks out, make sure you have 2 on the books. It's very important.
Very important. And then also I had one friend who was like, she's like, well, doesn't that feel icky? Like, is that like a trick? And I'm like, no, because one, it's true.
No.
And it also helps your client because it's one less thing that they have to remember. I say, and I'll text you the night before, the day before with a reminder, and they can just like forget about it because they trust me to remind them.
Yeah.
But
you got to remember that you're serving them. Like, you benefit from the value exchange, but my thought process, no matter what, is like, oh my gosh, I need to make sure they get in. Like, because I care that much about their nails being done. Like, that's always been my heart about it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been just concerned and worried that everyone has their nails done and that I can do as many clients as I can.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to make sure that I can like help them out, then I need them to book 2 ahead, because I need to know, I need to plan on, they're going to come back. I know they're going to come back. So I need to have a better idea of about when they're going to come back.
And make sure
so I'll tell them,
yeah.
There's some client I've had to train my clients, some more than I even realized, that I've had to train them to book their life out ahead of time, and it's scary for some clients to go 3 appointments out into the future, because that's like, that can be pretty far away. That could be like 3 months out there, that they can be like, I don't know what I'm doing then. So I'll just say, you know what? I feel more comfortable holding this spot for you than not holding anything.
Yes.
And so as we get closer, just text me. And when you see it coming up on your calendar, we can adjust and it'll give us more freedom,
100%.
And so approach it that way, they'll be more comfortable. If they're ever like, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing, I'll message you later. Just be like, okay, well, how about I put you here just so that I know that I'm expecting a text from you that week.
Yeah.
And that gives them accountability to actually message you back. Because if they say, oh, I'll just message you when it gets closer, then it gets closer, life gets busy. They'll be like, oh, she's not really counting on me anyway.
And then you fill up. And like, can you get me in tomorrow? Like, I had this happen. We'll get to the meditation in a minute, but the other day I felt so horrible. I had a woman, new client, never done her nails before. And she needed to she's like, can you get me in tomorrow? I broke a boundary. I was not working that day, but I was like, said yes anyway, because I wanted to help accommodate her, because there was an event coming up. My daughter gets sick 30 minutes before she was supposed to show up, and I had to cancel. And I felt horrible. But putting those, and she was mad, but putting those as she should be. But I gave her a lot of references. I gave her a lot of people to call. I gave her a lot of suggestions. I did the best I could in the situation.
Because you don't want to tell people one thing is like, no, I can't get you in. Customer service, like clients hate the one option that, no, you give them options, and they are so appreciative of that.
Yeah. Which we learned in the hospitality world too. It's always, do you prefer this or this?
Yeah.
This or this? The choices, and then they're choosing. But okay, should we get to the meditation? Like I said, we could talk about this forever and ever and ever. And
like episode number 2 of what we wish we would have known.
Part 2. Yeah. And if you guys have any questions that we didn't answer here, up here on the beautiestalkingbusiness.com, the show, that's where all of our replays are. So you can go ahead and you can access the replays, and then you can also leave a comment and ask questions, and we'll get back to you as well too. But okay, so today, this is going to be it might feel silly, but this is a great confidence meditation. And I don't think I've done this one before here. So, okay, cool. If I have, stop me, and then I'll have to, I'm just kidding. Okay, so a way to really feel confident. Okay, first is that you need to feel the feeling of the confidence. So have I spoken about that here on the BLAB show before, about even if you need to just set aside some private time before you are going into an appointment or with a customer, and just get your confidence up? Have I mentioned that?
I think we've kind of touched
it. Okay, so this is an actual meditation around it.
Okay.
So as very primal beings, body language, animals, they all have their own body language that express different things, right? So some animals get smaller, some get bigger. Us as humans, when we feel confident, we get bigger, right? Just the stance of being big is an open and strong, is a good way to feel confidence. So I invite you just to take a few deep breaths. We're going to do 3 deep breaths in. Hold for a few seconds, and then breathe out. Get comfortable wherever you're sitting or you're standing. Become present with sounds around you, smells, taste, the feeling, like this pillow I'm sitting on, my air conditioning that just kicked on. Just really be present in where you are in this moment. Continue to take a deep breath in. Hold and then release out. Feel the oxygen and the breath carrying that oxygen through your body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now think of a time when you felt so proud of yourself and you felt so confident in what you were doing. You were completely in your element. You knew exactly how to fix something, exactly how to create something, exactly how to do anything, whether it was a certain brush stroke, a certain technique, building, a certain piece of advice you were giving, maybe a meeting you were in where you just felt, or even a time in your life or around with your children or your partner, whatever that looks like, a time where you felt on top of the world and felt confident. Breathe in. If you're having resistance around confidence, think of pride, because you can use that as well as feeling very proud of something you did too. Now that you have that moment, feel it start in your chest and in your heart. And feel that confidence. Feel that emotion, feel that feeling grow and become strong. And stronger, and let it completely fill your entire body down to your toes, up through your head. Expand and fill your entire being with the feeling of confidence. Smile, let the endorphins run through your mind and through your body. Feel your strength. Now I want you to put your shoulders back and get big. And place your hands on your hips or your fists on your hips and stand very strong, like Superman or Superwoman would stand. You are strong, you are powerful, you are confident. We're going to hold this body position for a few more seconds and continue to breathe in that feeling of strength and confidence. Tell yourself either out loud or in your mind, I am powerful. I am confident. I am secure. I am strong. Hold on to the feeling. Don't let your mind interject or get in the way. Just feel that feeling. Now take another deep breath in. Hold it for 5 seconds and release it for 5 seconds. And release and wash that away and let it go. And we're back. How fun is that? Did you like that?
That was really good. I love the put your hands on your hips, like
Yes.
body position. As I've studied body language, I think that there's so much value in, the power of the hand. Yeah.
And then even if like you need to do that and it just like go. You could even put your arms out really big and your chin up and your chest out and just really high and just be there and just get large and just feel it, Oh, thanks for the props. You're so cute. And you can do that before walking into an appointment, before walking into a conversation, before even starting your day, you can just stand there like,
Well, it's psychologically just opens your mind and your heart to allowing confidence to take place in your body, because we get stuck in the mind game trap, and then we spiral down. But when we just work from the outside in and physically first, take that stance or whatever we need to do to kind of reset. It's really great. Powerful.
Good. And just to end the meditation, we're just going to close the meditation by saying thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
It is done. It is done. It is done. It's done. And let it go.
Love it. I love your meditations. If you guys haven't signed up for her email list, you'll get in your inbox, you'll get her meditation.
There's the link.
Really powerful to do it every morning. Oh, so good. And you can already tell from this meditation.
Don't you feel better?
So good. I know, in the energy,
you're yeah.
Feels good.
Get so much done right now. But it's so much of that is, there's so many different ways to meditate. And I get more into this on my site, but there's meditations for anything and any kind of thing that you need to feel or generate or whatever that is. And even clearing your mind, whatever it is. There's so many. There's so many.
What I love about our show, Beauty's Talking Business, is combining your meditation stuff and combining that all with everything that we talk about. Is there are so many tools out there to help the modern millennial creative to create success, and tapping into these different kind of more different types of
internal work
and doing the inner work. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Which is what you work through, and I love how with your site that you focus a lot on helping people with their belief systems, which is so powerful. I guess I focus more on the feeling and the doing and all of this. So yeah, it's exciting. It's so much fun. But if you don't have that internal work, and I've been doing this interview series. So my first interview goes out today.
Yay, that's awesome.
So I'm excited because I've talked to a lot of different people. And the end of every interview, that bottom line message all comes down to what's in, that yearning within yourself, which is just so neat. But yes, I love this. Do we have time for maybe 2 questions? If someone wants to ask a question, should we unlock the seat? We have 5 minutes?
Yeah, let's do 5 minutes. Okay. I know we had some people jump on late. Tanya's here. If anyone has questions or has something that maybe we didn't discuss, unlock the seat. So click on to call in, and
Hugh's here.
Then you can ask your question or bring up a new topic about what was difficult for you when you were starting your business or getting into the beauty industry or something like that. And we can combine all of our knowledge and experience to help you.
That's a good question. Something that you wish you would have known just as you were getting started. You can be brave and hop on. Mine says lock seat. Is that because it's unlocked?
No, it's telling you can lock the seat. So don't hit it or else it will be locked.
Okay.
I think. I just clicked unlock seat. So I think that's
okay. Cool. So 5 minutes and let's ask a question. We'll wait. We'll hang for a minute. We'll wait. Or you can type it in the chat too. I think if you hit, hang on, let me see. Okay, this is cool, guys. So if you look at the bottom of your chat, there's a little / a / symbol. If you click that, there's things you could, or maybe is that just because I'm a host?
No, I have it. Oh, I'm a host though.
Okay, so you can just go /Q, and then let me show you the question, like, what is your, let me see if this works. No, it didn't work. But you should be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, maybe, oh, I see. I don't know.
Maybe write it first and then /Q. But anyways.
Anyway.
Question. Or we can just end it here and you can jump over to Beauty's Talking Business on Facebook and we can continue the conversation. We are here to help you guys out.
Yeah. We have, let me actually put in that link here. For Beauty's Talking Business. So you can leave your comments over there and we'll get back to you. There's also more information on what Dre and I do. And also, let me give you guys the Facebook group link so that they have that. Because if you are not a part of our Facebook group, then that is a good place for everyone to just get to know each other and chat and talk, as well as let me make sure I'm in the right spot here. Yeah, as well as just networking and getting to know each other. And then that's where we'll post too before we go live. And so you can get on the email list at beautiestalkingbusiness.com, or you can go over to the group and we'll always post some things like that too. So, well, let's close it up and be done for the day. Thank you so much for everyone who hopped on and who joined. Make sure to catch the replay, and the replays are all, can I pin it? What does that mean? Yep. Is it popping up and showing the replay link?
I don't see a link. Maybe because we're still recording.
Oh, possibly. Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out.
We're messing with it.
I'm messing with it.
Figuring it out.
Where did it go? Where did it go?
Someone join.
We'll get that one more link. Huh?
Okay. I don't know. The seat kind of changed. I wasn't sure.
It was supposed to give the link, but it didn't.
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought I was doing. But go check our replays over on this link.
Go check it out. Check out all the links. I don't know where it is. Probably that. But yeah, join us next time, you guys. We'll be here Mountain Standard Time, 11 o'clock on Monday.
Every Monday we're here.
Yes.
So thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank
Have
you,
a beautiful day.
All right. Bye, guys. Let's close out.